Hey Falcons fans, welcome back to the channel. We've got some exciting news today, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. If you've been following the Atlanta Falcons offseason moves or keeping up with our NFL draft predictions, you know there's been a lot of buzz lately. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you stay updated. Now, let's get to the good stuff. On April 3rd, Tori McElhaney dropped her latest mock draft, and it comes with a bold prediction that could make waves. This isn't just your typical first-round pick. It has local ties, huge potential, and could finally address one of the Falcons' biggest weaknesses. McElhaney predicts that the Falcons will pick Georgia Bulldogs star edge rusher Jalen Walker with the number 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Before you start celebrating or questioning the move, let's break it down. McElhaney is confident this could happen, and she made it clear with a bit of humor, saying, "What can I say except, you're welcome. I told you I would find a way to get Walker to the Falcons, and I'm happy to report I did." Now, while McElhaney admits it's not a guarantee, things can always change on draft night. There's a strong case for why this could be the perfect move for Atlanta. Jalen Walker is explosive, versatile, and exactly the type of edge rusher the Falcons need. McElhaney said it best. Someone that versatile in this defensive unit? Yep, book it. Here's the thing. Atlanta has struggled with their pass rush for years, and it's become a glaring weakness. Last season, the Falcons ranked 31st in the NFL in sacks, with just 31 on the entire season. For perspective, that's not just bad, it's a problem. The last time Atlanta had a solid pass rush was back in 2017 when they made their last playoff appearance. Since then, the pass rush has been a major issue. Now, I know some of you might be asking, why Jalen Walker? Let's talk about that. Walker isn't just another edge rusher. He's explosive and versatile, with the potential to make an immediate impact. The Falcons' defense needs help, and Walker could be the player to turn things around. Plus, he's a Georgia Bulldog, which has sparked a lot of conversation among Falcons fans. For years, fans have voiced their frustration over Atlanta's reluctance to draft Georgia players, and McElhaney is aware of it. You've seen the debates. Why hasn't the team picked a Bulldog in the first round? Other teams like the Philadelphia Eagles have drafted 3 Georgia players in the first round over the past few years and are now reaping the rewards with a Super Bowl win. While I don't believe the Falcons should just pick a Georgia player for the sake of it, Walker is different. He addresses an immediate need and has the potential to transform the defense. This isn't just a local story, it's a strategic move that could help the Falcons become a stronger team. That said, this is only McElhaney's 5th mock draft of the offseason, and she's been pretty consistent with her predictions so far. Let's see what happens next, but this could be the game changer the Falcons need. Back in March, McElhaney had the Falcons picking another edge rusher from Georgia, Michael Williams. This time, she's sticking with the Georgia theme and predicting they'll choose Jalen Walker. In fact, out of the 5 players she suggested for the Falcons in her first 5 mock drafts, Walker stands out as the most exciting option. McElhaney has been advocating for the Falcons to select a Georgia edge rusher in 40% of her mock drafts. That's a bold statement, showing just how much the Falcons need a strong pass rusher, which could really influence their strategy in the first round. Now here's something that's pretty amazing. If the Falcons pick a Georgia player, especially someone like Walker, it would be a historic moment. It would mark the first time in the team's history that they've chosen a Georgia Bulldog in the first round of the draft. That's right, Atlanta has never drafted a Georgia player in the first round. If Walker ends up being the one to change that, it could be a major turning point for the Falcons. And let's not forget the big issue here, the pass rush. This isn't just about local pride or making history. The Falcons really need someone who can pressure the quarterback. So, what do you think, Falcons fans? Would you be excited to see Jalen Walker wearing the red and black of Atlanta? Do you think the Falcons will finally draft a Georgia Bulldog in the first round? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, there's another name that keeps popping up for Atlanta's 15th overall pick, Marshall defensive end Mike Green. But before we dive into why Green is such a hot topic, let's set the scene. The Falcons are in a unique position. They're close to playoff contention, and this draft could be a game changer for their future. If they pick the right players, they could finally build a defense that intimidates their opponents. But if they miss the mark, well, we know how that story goes. Let's talk about Field Yates's latest 2-round mock draft. He has Green landing in Atlanta at pick 15, and the reactions have been mixed. Some fans are excited about Green's impressive stats, while others have serious concerns. So, let's take a closer look. What makes him an interesting choice, and what are the potential red flags? First, the positives. Green was a force last season. He led the entire country with 17 sacks, recorded 23 tackles for loss, and created 59 pressures. Those numbers are incredible. He didn't just dominate weaker teams, he held his own against top-notch offensive linemen. Just check out his tape against Ohio State. He performed well against players projected to be first- and second-round picks in this draft. Then there's his performance at his pro day. Green didn't participate in the NFL Combine but waited for his pro day, and when he tested, he blew everyone away. His 3-cone drill time was 6.85 seconds, faster than any linebacker or defensive lineman at the Combine. To put that in perspective, Iowa's Jay Higgins had the best time for his position group at the Combine, and Green beat it by a significant margin. He also nearly led in the 20-yard shuttle. But here's where it gets complicated. Some teams and analysts are skeptical about pro day numbers, and for good reason. It's common for times to be a tenth of a second or more faster than at the Combine. For example, a Texas running back was much quicker at his pro day than at the Combine, raising questions about timing accuracy. So, are Green's numbers legit, or is there a bit of home field advantage at play? And then there's a bigger concern, off-field issues. Green transferred from Virginia to Marshall, and while transfers are common, his situation raises some eyebrows. He has faced accusations of sexual assault twice, once in high school and once at Virginia. No charges have been filed against Green, and he denies both allegations, but this is something that teams will need to look into carefully. His playing time at Virginia was inconsistent. Sometimes he played, and sometimes he didn't. There's speculation that this might be linked to the allegations. If the Falcons decide to draft him, they'll need to be completely sure about his character. Now, here's where it gets even more intriguing. With their second-round pick at number 46, the Falcons selected Darius Alexander, a defensive tackle from Toledo. This choice has left some fans scratching their heads. Alexander is a big guy, standing at 6 feet 4 inches and weighing 315 pounds. But his production on the field raises questions. He played for 6 years in the MAC, and while he was named second-team All-Conference in his senior year, he never made it to the first team. If you're in a smaller conference for that long, you're expected to dominate, so not being a first-team All-MAC player is a bit concerning. Last season, he recorded just 3.5 sacks, not exactly the kind of game-changing pass rush you'd hope for. So, the Falcons are leaving the first 2 rounds with 2 defensive linemen. Green, who has the potential to be an elite pass rusher but comes with off-field concerns, and Alexander, who is a big presence but might only be a rotational player. Could Atlanta have made a better choice at pick 46? Do you think the team made the right decision? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. Go Falcons!